Supriya Shunate, to bring you in on this, this must catch you in a bit of a dichotomy, quandary, whatever you might want to call it, because you were the complainants in this case, and now you have an ally to defend that you complained again.
No, I don't think there's any dichotomy, and let me begin by first wishing all your viewers and yourself and my co-panelists a great year ahead.
You too,
But I do want to say something at the outset. I think whether there is a potential offence or not, let there be law enforcement and let investigation happen, and that should take its due course. Having said that, we live in a world where there is altered paradigm. We live in a world where there is huge overreach, where we live in a world where it's a diabolical pattern. The Enforcement Directorate that we are talking to, and I will come to Mr. Kejriwal or the politicians being chased in one bit, but the Enforcement Directorate did not shy away from sending notices to two farmers in Tamil Nadu. One a 72-year-old farmer and another a 67-year-old farmer in the Salem district. What was their offence? They got into a legal dispute with the local BJP leader. And so the Enforcement Directorate is now sending notices and summons to farmers, to poor farmers of this country. This is where we have come to. I do believe that the pattern of misuse, the pattern of abuse, the pattern of use of enforcement agencies, of law enforcement agencies as frontals of the BJP is for there to see. I mean, the number that you quoted or otherwise, one can step back and say, what was law enforcement doing all this while? For 60 days, there were members of the BJP IT cell who have been alleged of gang rape. And cases are now coming to fore where they would go on IIT BHU campus.
Ma'am, I'll come to you. Please respect each other's time.
These men were involved.
Ma'am, everyone take a deep breath, respect each other's time, and we will go one by one. I will give you enough time to respond. Ma'am, Ms. Verma, allow. Ma'am, allow panelists to say whatever they want. I'll come back to you as long it's civil and it's not abusive. Allow, ma'am. Instead of digressing, allow. I'll come back to you and you can answer. Can I just get Mr. Nate to complete, and then we'll go across to Ashutosh, Jasmine, and then back to Ms. Verma. Mr. Nate, make your point.
We are talking about law enforcement, and as a citizen and a woman of this country, I want to know what was law enforcement doing for 60 days when members of the BJP IT cell have now been arrested for allegedly gang raping a woman. What were they doing for 60 days? They were working for the MP elections for the BJP. They were working in Madhya Pradesh. I want to know what was law enforcement and what is law enforcement doing in Manipur. Manipur has been burning for 8 months now. The Prime Minister hasn't visited there. 48 hours back, 4 people were killed. 24 hours back, armed forces have been attacked. The reality is that when you start issuing notices to farmers of your country as Enforcement Directorate, you have lost all kind of credibility. And the problem with losing credibility for law enforcement agencies is that when you have selective political vendetta and political scores to settle, nobody believes you. And that is what is happening to the credibility of our institutions under Mr. Modi. The overreach, the diabolical pattern, the template has been set. Only members of the opposition will be targeted. If this was an investigation or a law enforcement agency was looking into it, nobody would have had a problem. But the reality is, if you join the BJP, all law enforcement, all the cases against you will evaporate. They will just completely sublime. They will go into
Mr. Nate, I'm going to come to
you
because
the opposition,
I'm going to come back to you, and the question I'd ask you then, ma'am, is something that the BJP will also say, because you're using the fig leaf of possibly farmers as well to cover up the likes of your own party, Rajya Sabha MP Dheeraj Sahu, who was caught with cash amounting to 290 crores in his own house. So all of those questions will be asked. I'll come back to you. Ashutosh,
I can answer that question.
Ma'am, I'll come back to you. Ma'am, please hold on to that thought. Allow me to come back to you.
I can answer that question.
Allow me to come back to you. Ashutosh, I want to bring you in on this. And the question I want to ask you is, what has been the